Hello and welcome to Andre's YouTube vlog for July 15th, 2011. Well, I got a couple things on my mind this weekend, and none of which is my personal life, as it were, these days, because, you know, I always told that, you know, if you don't have anything really good to say, then don't say anything. So, you know, I'm not going to bore you with the details of some of the goings-on in my personal life lately that haven't been 100% pleasant. So anyway, my first thought is that about 24 hours from now will be the film premiere of the final movie in the Harry Potter series, Harry Potter Deathly Hallows Part 2, since they decided to split the final book into two parts. And I just wanted to say I'm not going to be going to the premiere, but I will be either going to the cheap theater to see it since it is the last movie, or more than likely just going with my old standby, renting it on DVD and then buying it if I like it. But I've been going to the Harry Potter films in the theater from the first one all the way through the third, and I've seen all the other ones after it on DVD, and I've followed them, and I have all of them, and I really enjoy all of them. And, you know, I'm hoping this finale will be a worthy finale, and I'll be kind of sad to see it go, but it probably was just the right time. Well, I actually just thought that it's been just a little over a year and 2 days actually, since I actually made one of my rare and out-of-print CD vlogs on YouTube, so I'd like to present to all of you, after about a year, Andre's rare and out-of-print CD collection, volume number 9. As you can see, I have an awful lot of stuff here, so I'm just going to kind of give you short explanations and take it as well as I possibly can here. It's the best I can do. Now, this is one of my biggest finds of the year. I found it on eBay, you know, $29.99 or something like that. It was the Commodores, Midnight Magic and Natural High. Now, it has some great ballads on it that we all know, Three Times a Lady and Still and Sail On and all that. But it's also got some great funk on it. Songs like Fire Girl and You're Special, which are great, innovative. You know, the Commodores were a great band. Lionel Richie's a great songwriter, and, you know, I love them. This is Riff. They are a somewhat unknown New Jack Swing band, and there's a great song on here called If You're Serious. It's got some great Stevie Wonder type of chords on it. It's really a good album from that era. This is Ike and Tina Turner working together. It's got Proud Mary. It's classic rock and soul, hard to find these days. I love that cover. Great impact photographically. I kind of got it for the cover too, but I know the music's going to be seriously cool on that. This is Willie Bobo, Bobo's Beat. Now, this album has some kind of corny arrangements on it, but it's a rare find, and, you know, there's some really good people on this, too, so I'm not too upset about some issues. This I got, and it's actually on another YouTube blog I did, the Neville Brothers, Fio on the Bio. This is a gold disc, as you can see. Look at the bottom. You can open that up. It's pure gold, and the sound quality on that is terrific. And I've actually got two of those, so I've got this one, too. This is Brothers Keeper from 1990. It came out in 1990, and this is the gold disc version. This is the Captain and Tennille, Keep Our Love Warm. They do this great disco funk cover of Song from My Father, and Until You Come Back to Me, that's what I'm going to do. It's a soul funk album by the Captain and Tennille. She sounds like Gladys Knight. You never know it from the Lovers Keep It Together stuff, you know. Great album. This is the Thompson Twins, In the Name of Love. It's a compilation of their first two albums, which aren't as common as their Into the Gap period stuff. That's a kind of hard one to find now. One of my favorites, the Bee Gees, Main Course. Really famous album by the Bee Gees, you know, Jive Talkin', Nights on Broadway, and Fanny and all that stuff, but really tough to find now for some reason. Hope it comes back in print soon, but I'm glad I got it when I did. Also, Ray Charles and Betty Carter, Baby It's Cold Outside, and a whole bunch of other really great songs on it. They recorded this in Hollywood in 1961, and it's a great record that they did together. I'm glad I have it on CD. It sounds really good. It's on the DCC label. See that? With Ray Charles, you want to get DCC or Atlantic. Best labels for Ray Charles. This is Kellis, great modern funk artist with Wonderland. This is her unreleased second album. Well, unreleased in the stateside. Great record. Very good mix of music and stuff. This is Melba Moore, A Lot of Love. This is the original CD edition, as you can see. Not the version put out by Funky Town Grooves. That's actually almost out of print now. This contains the song A Little Bit More, and I love Melba Moore. I love her voice. I love her whole thing. I love that boogie sound from the early 80s that she gets. Now this is The System, Don't Disturb This Groove. Yeah, we all heard it to death in 1987, but man, I love this album. I love these two guys, you know, Mick Murphy and Frank, and they're just, you know, overall great artists, I think. Good with electronics. Speaking of electronics, this is Al Di Meola, Scenario from 1983. It's his kind of attempt at electro-funk, sort of jazz fusion, kind of like Rocket. There's a song on here called Sequencer and Hypnotic Connection. You know, very, very different kind of album for Al. And here is Clarence Clemens. Now, you can get this album Hero on a twofer, but this individual CD is kind of rare. We just lost Clarence to death, sadly, and this is an album produced by Narada Michael Walden. Very 80s, very synthesizer, but has some very deep spiritual lyrics. And I like that, especially for 1985. Run DMC, My Boys, Back from Hell, 1991. Not a very easy find now. Haven't listened to it yet, but look forward to it. These guys, you know, they're always great, you know, always. You know, even if they're starting to pass on, I love them. This is Joe Vitale, Plantation Harbor on Wounded Bird. I got these for a steal, actually. This one and the next album, Roller Coaster Weekend. That's his first two albums on Wounded Bird. They're out of print now, hard to find. And another Bee Gees, Mr. Natural from 1974. The one that came before Main Course. You know, they're trying to see if they're soul, pop, country even. You know, they're doing a lot of different things. I don't know who that little fellow is on the album cover, but I think it's kind of cute cover anyway. The neon signs and everything. Now, we all know Usher, you know, yeah, and he's got a new record out, but this is his first. This is before his album My Way came out. Sort of a hip-hop soul release like Mary J. Blige, or similar to that album we were just talking about by Riff. But, you know, it's just Usher getting himself together and trying to find his style. Maybe he'll find it someday, you know, sometimes I don't think he necessarily has, but that's a currently out-of-print debut from Usher. Gino Vanelli, another one of my guys, Big Dreamers Never Sleep, from 1987. Actually one of his better albums. And I actually really like the hit off this album, called Wild Horses. It's kind of a country, jazz, pop kind of mixture, you know? Actually really works. And there's another great song on this album called Persona Non Grata. You know, we had some message songs, kind of funky, in an 80s way. I like it. The Crusaders, speaking of funky, Rhapsody in Blues and Standing Tall. They got Joe Cocker and Bill Withers on this album, and you know, it's the Crusaders. What more can you say, you know? In terms of serious groove and jazz, you know, these guys... Anyway, this is the Tubes, you know, White Punks on Dope. David Bowie, Roxy Music, New York Dolls. That's all I gotta say. In that league. Great, great, great album. Great, 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 great cover. You know, I love that, love that, love that. Now here we have Free Will by another recently departed guy, Gil Scott-Heron. And he did a really cool song on this album called Ain't No New Thing, where he talks about the appropriation of black American music by white artists, not with any malice, but with his great sense of wit and humor. And that's what I'll think about Gil Scott-Heron, his great singular wit and his ability to make sense of just about anything. And New Kids on the Block, you know, actually, this is a really seriously pop-funk album. Really good. You know, worth checking out. You know, pre-Hangin' Tough. I love it. I really do. So there you have it. As you can see, I have a lot of great music there, and, you know, some of it I haven't even listened to yet, and what I have I've really enjoyed. And, you know, I know there's a lot of people out there who are watching movies and just want to veg in front of the movie and watch the latest Blockbuster or 30 Rock or whatever TV show's on. But sometime, you know, put on your stereo and listen to some tunes and absorb the music. You know, I know this is not a very audio-oriented culture right now. It's more visual, but, you know, the world has music for those who listen. My little message for the day. Signing out, everybody.